Hey YouTube, I wanted to make this video for a very long time. I think it has been over 3 weeks since I said that I was going to make this video about a book that I loved, and I showed you this. It's The Discovery of Witches, and I waited so long because I got nervous because I loved this book so much, and I just wanted to make a good video about it. So I started making notes, and then I stopped and just decided to just talk and tell you what I liked about this story. Now, first I wanted to show you the book that I've read, because this book is the book that I didn't read because it was too pretty. Like it's beautiful. And when I first this is the first edition that I read, and it was paperback, and I took it everywhere with me. It even has a little mark from a candle, because I'm not fire candles, I don't know. But anyway, you can tell that it was loved and chewed on. Okay, so anyway, I read this book and I loved it so much that I just needed the rest of the books too. So that's what this is all about. And when I first bought this book, and I was standing in the bookstore and I was reading the back, and it says so right here that Professor Deborah Harkness has she has decided to write a book. This is her first book that she had written, and she's a professor and she's an academic, and I was thinking, how is that going to how is she going to combine the two, the world of magic, because it's a book about the magical world, witches, vampires, demons, different things happen, spells, well, excuse me. Okay. And apparently she knows very well to do both, because in the main character in the book, Diana Bishop, she also works in an academic setting. She is an historian and specialized in 17th century, what is it called? Chemistry. And she has an aunt named Sarah, I think. Notes are very helpful with this sort of thing, because I read it a long time ago, and I was just a little bit what's it called, afraid to start these big books, because they have a lot of pages. Yeah, over 500, 550, and usually I don't care about lots of pages, but this is an entire series. Well, knowing myself, I'll just keep reading and reading until I've read both of these books, and then I've neglected housework and family and friends and things that I'm usually doing. So yeah. These are the kind of books that I should read during vacation time and when I'm on holiday, that sort of thing. But anyway, it's about Diana Bishop, and she has decided that magic, not so much her thing. And her aunt is not very happy about that. Her parents were very important witches too, but they died, and so one day she is in the library and she asked for this manuscript, and accidentally she uses her magic to get it, and this is noticed by vampires and demons and other witches. So unknowingly they all will, crowd around her, and will not exactly at that point, but they notice it, so they want to know how she managed to get that manuscript, because none of them could do it, so why was her magic special? And the manuscript is all about why magical creatures like witches and vampires, why are they the way they are? What makes them different from regular humans? And it basically explains it by by looking at the DNA of these different creatures. So after that, the story just goes on, and you get to explore all these different ideas, and it's a little bit like that Dan Brown book with the professor when they go looking for a. There's the one with angels and demons, and you already know what I'm talking about. So she goes on this big adventure and trying to figure it all out, and what I like about this book is that you get to go with her, and the story is written in a way that you can actually see it all happening right in front of you. Like, there's this one scene that she's walking outside, and there are these trees, and I forgot something to tell you, something very important to tell you. There's also a love interest, Matthew. It's right here on the back, so I'm not telling you anything that you don't want to know. But Matthew is a vampire, and he wants to protect her. He's also very curious about the manuscript, of course, but mostly he wants to protect her too. And he's a little bit possessive because he's in love with her. And at first, that's also very, very fun. At first I was thinking, how is this going to work? A vampire and a witch? Because a vampire in my mind is this incredibly strong person, vampire, who is fast and strong, and has lived for a long time, so he's knowledgeable about all these different things. He's very smart. And then there's this witch, and she is not even a knowledgeable witch, not a practiced witch. She hasn't practiced her magic. She doesn't know what her talents are or her powers. And so how is that, And at first, Matthew is a little bit more, the stronger one. And then Diana starts to, accept her magic, and she is very strong. And still, I was not really convinced that they could be equals. And then there was this scene, and they were Matthew decided that she should be trained, and he was going to do that. He was going to train her. So at this point he was going to scare her or something, and then she had to defend herself. Well, Diana is not a very weak and easily intimidated girl. She is a woman, and she is strong, and she can handle herself. So her magic is just as strong as his vampire abilities, and I really like that in this story because for instance, vampires can move very fast from in a blink of an eye, but you can so vampires can attack a witch my TV is starting to so vampires can attack a witch, but if you have defensive spell work around you, or if you have this sense when there's danger coming, you can protect yourself. So that's exactly what she's doing. Now, there are many different characters, and you're gonna love them all. At least I did. Even the annoying ones, because there's this annoying assistant, and I didn't like her. But eventually, you'll start to understand where she's coming from. And then there's also Matthew's son, and Matthew was a little bit. I had to get used to him. But after a while, when I discovered his backstory, because obviously obviously because vampires can also not be old, but he is old, and he has been through a lot, because when most vampire stories, they're always brooding, and there's always something bad had happened to them. This, what happened to him was, it was very sad, and I felt bad for him. I wanted to comfort him and tell him that it's all gonna be okay, and yeah, that's also a big part of the book. Everything is so very. It's not romanticized. Well, there is romance in the book, of course, and it's nice. It's very nice, but the problems are exactly that. They are problems. They are not easy to get rid of. There are no easy solutions. They really have to work for it. And all the characters, they have very well worked out. Is that how you're supposed to say it? Yeah. Well, anyway, this video is getting way too long, and probably because I kept saying way too much, and I hope that didn't bother you as much as it did me. So this is my book, and this was my bookmark, and look at it. and I have here in my notes that I had to show you the back, because on the back is this little thing from the Sunday Times. Intelligent and off the wall, it will be irresistible to Twilight fans. Now, Twilight is for the younger crowd. Of course, older people can read it too, because I've loved. Oh crap! I have to hurry up. But it's not Twilight. It's very different from Twilight. Yes, there are vampires, but they're very different vampires. And I love Twilight, but this is different, so don't compare the two. I have to say goodbye because I have to hurry up. And this is the first book, and this is the second book, and this is the third.